Dun, 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 dun.
Cheers to This Is Life. You know, we want to help people helping people. We are all here together. Why not be successful? Why not help each other? Why not be something? And there doesn't have to be so much picking and hating and judging. And this is a free judge zone. I don't judge anybody. You always welcome in here. So let's.
judge people.
Well, you know what, dude? Cheers to good friends, great energy, and a live chat room in this podcast. Hey yo, this is life. Thank you, everyone. Newcomers, oldcomers, friends, family. We love you all. Shout the fuck out. If you're afraid to talk to me or if I am too aggressive for you, go fuck yourself. But if you're not and you're interested in talking, please pick up the phone, holler at me. And my own experiences, I left at 16. I moved out when I was 16 years old, people. I had 3 jobs, my own apartment, and I had a baby, and I had things to do. My husband will tell you, I am a fighter, I am a strong person, and I am Jess. There's nothing less, and he is Rocky, and he never gives me anything less, and that's what's so important. I am so damn blessed to have you as my partner in crime.
There's echo.
We don't need friends, you know why? Because we have each other. Cheers on that.
Cheers on that.
Get the fuck out of here.
You're bugging. Well, I guess.
What we've been waiting for, we are here. It is Tuesday. We have a lot of special things going on. Of course, Rocky, my amazing husband, as my co-host here. We have a special guest, Lynn, joining us tonight.
Hello.
And our other co-host, amazing Nicole.
Who hasn't been here, you lazy shit?
She's been doing things.
You are on probation, young lady.
I've had shit to do. I'm not going to be here next week either.
Oh, goodness.
All right. Well, so yeah, okay. So I'm going to take this off because we don't have a call right now and they bother me when I'm talking. So we have a really special show tonight. I want to talk about a lot of things, but while we got the girls hot and heavy and ready to go, I think we should talk about the main subject, which is going to be bullying.
No, I think you should talk about something else first, and then go to that.
Why? Well, do you have something
work
else?
Work way up.
Yeah.
Why do you want to roll? You want to?
Well, because you don't know how long you're gonna go with something like that, and
that's why I was gonna try to do it first.
No. And again, because it's the main event, like that's
a climax.
you know what I mean?
Oh, climaxing. I should think about that.
Yeah, that's not something you jump right into. That you work your way into it. Talk a little bit, feel each other out, get a little vibe going, and then you get into it.
It's kind of like sex,
Yeah.
Oh my God! I got a whole bunch of fucking haters in here tonight, knocking me down. So I guess we're not going to talk about that first.
It's just I'm a professional. I've been doing this for a long time. I know how things go.
Professional rock at you.
You don't do the main event. I was jumped.
Oh God! I wasn't thinking about it like that. I thought we would just talk about everything.
Boxing, they have all the bullshit fights before the real one.
In this game, though, you kind of lump it in the middle. Like you don't do it right at the beginning. You don't really do it at the end. You kind of do it in the middle because you want to get people listening, and then you want to keep them listening.
Okay, all right. So let's talk about something else.
Go ahead, baby.
Okay, so I am not a person about others being in my shit. Like if my husband and I argue, I don't like my neighbors hearing. I don't want my kids involved. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. So I got this article about how a person that was on a plane, right, starts videotaping a couple across the way, and they're fucking going at it. And they're not only fighting, but breaking up. And the girl's saying why, and he's telling her because I don't want to be with you. And it's like the worst ever. Now, these people have to sit 2 hours on a plane.
First of all, that's very rude.
Listening to your fucking bullshit.
That's absolutely, I'd fucking get up and be like, well, you two shut the fuck up and, wait till you get off the fucking plane. We're all here, too.
Right. Stuck in that position.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Do this somewhere else. Be quiet.
Right. So this person's recording. The girl's crying. The guy is basically blowing her off. When I read this whole article, the person kept saying, I don't know why I'm writing this or why I actually recorded it. But, I guess when
you know what my favorite thing is? As a guy, because I've been in this situation, the girl's crying and you are done with this person. You're finished and they're crying. And guys look so cold and heartless when the girl's crying there and they're like either sitting there just going,
Right.
it is what it
That's
is.
what he was
and
doing.
you're like eating a sandwich or like continuing to watch the TV or whatever is preoccupying your mind other than whatever she's doing. And I've been in that situation where you're like, ugh, like just you could leave.
Right.
Like, why are you sitting here crying? But on a plane,
You can't.
there's no fucking leaving.
How do you feel about that shit? What
I
would
think
you?
you'd be stuck in a plane. I'd probably beat the guy up.
Would you be like, hey, dude, why don't you shut the fuck up?
Me and her got into a fight when we landed.
Yeah, and I was like, shut up. And he's going, I don't have to shut up. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Because to me, I'm going, there's a woman sitting next to me. I sound like a battered wife because I'm not fighting back. And he's just talking shit. And I'm going, would you shut the fuck up? Then I'm texting him, shut the fuck up. He goes, you're texting me? I'm like, oh shit. But in that situation, you're kind of putting somebody in a bad spot. Like, nobody
absolutely.
wants to hear your
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
drama.
yeah.
I'm kind of guilty of doing that sometimes.
I think everyone is.
Like,
Yeah.
Like, there's one, for instance, we were shopping in a store, and I said, go get this thing, and then I come back, and they're still standing there, and I was like, are you frickin' kidding me? And I was kind of loud, so it kind of made it a little more, everybody looked. So it was a little more embarrassing for him than it would be.
For you.
And I'm just like, but I'm always loud, la 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 la. And this is normal, this is how I talk. But in reality, like, I wasn't taking into his consideration of, this is embarrassing. I just got yelled at.
Because when you're in the moment, you're like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care
Yeah.
about these people. I don't
Right.
care about your feelings. Like, this is how I feel. Fuck you. I'm going to say what I want to say as loud as I want to say it. And anyone who's got a fucking problem with it, you can come over here too and I'll give you some too,
I used
motherfucker.
to be like that, and now that I'm with someone who's like that, I'm the one that's going, would you just fucking stop? And he'll say to me, I hate when you text me and you're in the same room. Say it. And I'm like, I'm not going to say it because the kids are sitting there. And that's our stupid arguments because I
Yeah.
don't like
But then
the
I'm
kids
like, all right,
hearing
then
our
wait.
shit.
Then wait. But I have to get it out now. It's in my head. I have to get it out now. Not 10 seconds, not 3 seconds, right
she's gonna forget
now.
Because, I have like this obsessive
I should have
compulsive.
said.
I do. I have a problem. But, since we've had we don't have many arguments. It's like 2 out of a year, the kids go downstairs.
Yeah.
But we don't have many arguments. But when we do, it's only because he doesn't feel like being like, whatever, to each his own. And I don't feel like being like, you're right. So we both are so stupidly stuff. It's stupid stuff, not
Yeah.
real stuff. They were fighting about real stuff. And there are all the people on the plane listening. This one's recording. And they have this video. I didn't look at the video. Actually, I didn't want to watch the video.
I mean, like a breakup, though, there's a time and a place.
Right. He
You know
was
what I mean? Like,
basically
do that
shutting
in,
her
like,
down.
Yeah, no,
I don't wanna
we were just
be-
having an
of, like,
argument.
not a plane.
Yeah.
Right. No, we were having
You know,
stupid
like-
over
Yeah.
our
We're not gonna
kids.
do it at a
No,
plane.
no,
Like,
it was
I'm
not
gonna
a-
go wait till you're home, or
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna. I mean, if you're afraid of the person, then yeah, do it in public, but not on a plane that you're stuck on the plane with
Right.
them.
And everybody's listening.
Yeah, and it's
Everybody's
just
listening.
complete awkwardness, and it makes other people uncomfortable. And
So then we're going to vote out that it's super uncomfortable for anybody to fight with their spouses or significant in a small area.
In
front of
any
people.
area, like in any area, when you're sitting there stuck and now there's a couple next to you having an argument, you're like, just fucking go somewhere.
Right.
Like,
it's not. We don't care. We don't hear about it.
yeah, like I don't need to fucking be involved because then they drag you into it too. Dude, doesn't she fucking do it? And it's like, bro, now I
Yeah,
gotta fucking
yeah.
shit on your girlfriend.
Right.
Like, of course I'm gonna back you up and be like, hey, I guess she does a little bit, but don't fucking involve
Put you
me
in a
now.
position where you have to be
No,
involved.
fuck her. So this is my boy. If they're in a relationship, it's always me versus her because I'm gonna back him no matter what. That's just the guys. That's what we do.
Oh, like, his girl, not me.
Yeah, no. But
I wanna
like,
make
if,
sure that
if
we
my
were on the same
boy's
page.
arguing with his chick and his chick like thinks I'm gonna be like, hey,
Oh, right,
you're
right, right.
That would never happen in a million years, no matter what this is.
even if they're right,
Absolutely, I could have seen it happen.
He said now he's being honest.
I
be
could have
honest.
seen it happen, and I'm still gonna be like, yeah. But
But, she was a real bitch.
Yeah, but you did that thing, so I mean,
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
so I just, I guess we'll throw that out there. Perfect. So if anybody's having
it'd be like
arguments,
De Niro and Goodfellas.
wants to
Nah,
fucking
a
hear
little
it.
bit. You insulted him a little bit.
Yeah, he did. Oh my god. Oh my god. That was actually, I love that movie. So all right. So to the person who took the video,
Then
shame on
Frankie
you.
says, "What up?"
Right, Frankie Messina.
Oh, hello, Frankie, darling.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess don't fight in public. I think it's fucking
No.
rude.
Where'd
Nobody
this
wants to
one
hear
go?
Shit. She had to make a phone call.
Oh,
She had to make a
yeah.
phone call, which is fine. She only gets a certain time to do it.
Yeah.
We're gonna swap on over to. I was reading this article. I'm gonna give it to you because you're better at reading, and then maybe you could. You are. I can't read without my glasses.
I know.
So people who have money. Everybody has money, right? But that doesn't mean you could just fucking do things because you have the money.
It does mean you can, but it means that there's people out there that are definitely going to disagree with what we're about to talk about, me being one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what she's talking about is rich people who go over to Africa, shoot baby elephants, shoot fucking elephants, shoot rhinos, shoot lions, shoot giraffes. Like, if you want to go out and hunt turkeys, hunt deer, hunt even bear, totally cool with that.
Right.
Like, go ahead.
Things you're supposed to hunting.
Like you're killing animals, for one, that there's really not that many of because you keep fucking killing them. And for
Yeah.
two, like, these are like majestic animals. Like,
Yeah.
people who kill like Bengal tigers and lions, I'm like, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, again, killing a deer, this fucking deer.
You're killing it to eat it.
Yeah,
Yes.
but
Or
didn't,
maybe to stuff it.
Yeah.
But most hunters, because I lived in Virginia
Yeah.
for a while, I lived
There's a
next to a hunt
purpose.
club.
Yeah.
There's a purpose. Like, even their hunt dogs, they're like, why do you starve them? The reason why you starve them is they're not going to hunt if they're full.
Right.
exactly.
You know, so just like
Oh, this is great that you
but
know about this.
some
Awesome.
of some Bengal tigers and things that shouldn't be displayed in your living room.
That's what I mean, because
Right.
that's all it is.
It's just
and
stupid.
the thing is, it's not like they went out there and hunted this thing. It's in
It was set up.
It's a closed environment. They paid to basically have someone trollop out a fucking tiger, and so they could shoot it at probably point blank range, pretty much, because you know these guys can't fucking
Yeah,
shoot.
they can't go out into like the real bush.
No,
and,
and that's what I
they'll
mean.
Be dead.
Yeah, it's not like they're in Africa, in the bush, down, camel,
Yeah.
you know. They have a fucking African guy who goes, oh, there's a tiger for you, shoot it. That, to me, is, for one, you're
Frankie,
a
that's
pussy.
fucked up.
Like, you're just a pussy. Go out there and fucking hunt like a real man. If you're going to fucking hunt, I respect it more if they went out there and did it the real way.
Or if they hunted to feed their family.
No,
to
no, no,
hunt-
no.
You know, like,
Because some do it for trophy. They do it with deers. They do it with
Yeah.
bears. That's a trophy. I'm for it. It's part of, you know.
with the right animals, yes, I guess.
Endangered animals, of course not. But if you're out there doing it the legit way,
Right.
not with some African tour guide,
Right.
if
Yeah.
you took it upon yourself to camp out and find the spot and do all the legwork, I'd probably be fine with that. It's these guys that are just pretty much, it's like going to Disney World and waiting online for the fucking...
Yeah, exactly.
It's a small world, and now it's my turn to shoot the elephant.
Yeah, and then I get a picture and
Yeah.
look what I did.
Exactly.
And then what are you doing with it? You're not hauling it back to
They're,
America.
they're not exactly. They're not even bringing it back to fucking America. They're just shooting it just so they could say, "Hey, I fucking shot an elephant."
and those
Which is
people
not right.
that are probably running those are probably the ones
we don't even
that
need
are
to
like,
read this article, honestly.
No,
you know,
no.
sending off like the tusks. They're making
Yeah,
the money off of
the
that
ivory.
stuff, plus making the money off the idiot who just flew
Do you
over
know what
from
they
America.
do with the rhino horns? The rhino horns apparently is some kind of like dick thing.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear this, babe? There's something in the rhino horn that these guys like take or they sniff it even, and it's something like it helps you sexually for men, and that's why a lot of these guys want the rhino horn in the parts of the world that they actually like. I live here and there's a rhino, let me cut it off, type
Yeah.
thing.
Right, but let me tell you though, this guy is actually saying he did it because it was self-defense.
Oh bullshit.
His name is Mike Johns.
Self-defense. You're in there fucking. You shouldn't have been there.
He's the
it's not
partner of Top
self-defense.
Gen Energy. He's like a big fucking millionaire. He's like, he claimed he did it for
Yeah,
self-defense.
that's like me
Yeah.
walking into his house, shooting him, and going, "Whoa, I was
Two-
shooting him in self-defense." You're
Right.
walking into their
baby
house,
elephants.
Exactly.
You need to be defending yourself against baby
but it's their
elephants.
house. You're in Africa or wherever they are. You're there. You flew there.
Yeah.
Like, you're not in your environment.
Right.
Self-defense is, you know, I'm on the street and someone's coming at me in the town I live
And you
in.
do what you gotta do, right.
You know, not you intending to go hunting.
In a place.
And an
right.
elephant now charges you. This isn't self-defense. It's
Right.
you got caught and the elephant was about to kill you. That's what that is. You were
Yeah.
going to shoot it.
It's unbelievable. And I read something like that, and that to me, I go, you know, people say like, oh, I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to have this money, I want to have that money. Money does change people, but I could never see myself having money and going, I'm going to cut that fucking tiger's mouth right out because I like his tongue.
It's
You know,
a
like,
dick swinging
fuck.
thing. That's what it is. It's a dick swinging thing. So you can tell your friends, look what I did. That's all it is. Honestly, there's nothing else behind it other than that you want to swing your dick and be like, look, I'm a big man. Because some guys have little tiny dicks, or they have all the money in the world but zero fucking confidence as far as who they are as a person.
Right.
You know, they're like savants, so they're good at what they do. So they're billionaires and rich and shit.
Right.
But as far as being like a man.
Right.
Like, I know people like this.
That's
you know?
true.
So you look at that and you go, oh, this is what they do to make themselves feel like they're a man. Like, they think by going out and shooting an elephant, that makes you a
Like,
man.
I'm a big guy.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
look at me. I'm a
absolutely.
powerful man. I shot a fucking baby
Which in
elephant.
reality, we all think you're a fucking douchebag.
Yeah, no one looks at you and
Nobody-
goes,
nobody
yeah,
likes
you're really
you.
cool. You know
and
who
like
does,
the
though?
legit hunting, they don't look at that as like real. Like
No.
they do like weird, like they kind of do like some weird rituals. Like the first time a son goes to hunt, the deer they kill, they want him to take a shot of the blood.
Yeah.
It's like a tradition, you know, like
Right.
each family member, when they kill their first deer,
Hey,
you know, they...
to your mouth.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I'm like,
Right to your mouth, Lynn. You know, right to
You
the
said
mouth.
you want to do a stand-up. You got to know how to hold the mic here. This is actually perfect.
Know how to hold the mic.
But yeah, bring it to your mouth.
But, you know,
you're
like,
right,
they
though.
do traditional things, like
And
not only...
in the country,
bust
where
the
were
hunt.
you? Like Pennsylvania, you said?
Virginia.
Virginia. Okay.
Pennsylvania.
Oh, even more country.
Yeah, like I bought a hunt club like the membership thing,
Yeah.
just to ride a quad during the winter time to keep their trails open.
Yeah.
So I was helping them out even though I wasn't hunting.
Yeah.
I was
But
like, listen, I would just want to use the
Americans
trails.
love their hunting, and honestly, that's the biggest thing. The people who want to take away guns don't understand. It's for one, self-defense as far as their homes go, but there's a lot of hunters who now you're taking away their hunting privilege, and they some people feed their families with this shit.
Of course.
Like
course.
I
And
know
again,
Joe
I'm
Rogan
not-
exclusively eats what he kills.
Yeah.
So like he goes hunting to eat. That's what
Yeah.
he does.
Right. So, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not, again, anybody who, whatever you got to do, that's how you feed your family. That's what you do for sport.
And
you
anyone
go
who's
with the
even
animals
opposed
that
to
are
that-
made for sport.
If you're opposed to that form of hunting, where he's bow hunting for
Right,
one,
right.
to which to me that's hunting.
Yes.
Like with
Yeah.
a gun, you're still kind of cheating.
Yeah,
With
but
a-
they do the muzzle loading thing before
Yeah,
the actual
but the bow
like,
hunting
rifles
is a
and stuff.
whole nother fucking level.
Yeah.
That is, and I respect that. I respect that more. I don't. It's not that I don't respect regular hunting. The bow hunting thing is on another
It's a
level.
lot. It's a lot
more
of
stealthy.
skill.
Yeah, yeah.
It's more what?
But
Stealthy.
It is.
Stealthy. I think you
It's
said
quieter
filthy. I'm like,
because
why
when
is it
doesn't
filthy?
have the
It's
bang
more
of the
filthy.
gun. It is a better way to do it too. Because if you miss, you might have a second shot. Where if you shoot a gun, you're not getting a second chance. They're running
Yeah.
off.
Right.
But people who do that and then they feed their families and they eat it all and they
Sure.
collect it, I'm totally fine with that. And there's nothing wrong with that because that's pretty much what man has done from beginning of time. What do you
Sure.
think they're doing to cows? I mean, we eat
No,
hamburger
yes,
and all that
again,
other
like,
shit.
I
Yeah.
agree.
But
You're not
there's no
killing it and
different than
just
a
looking
butcher
at it,
killing
though.
it than me killing it and eating. It's the
Right.
same shit.
No, absolutely. Again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be. Everybody do whatever they're doing. I'm talking about the people who actually do it out of fucking trying to be cool
Yeah.
or whatever they want to put on their wall. And you're talking about fucking animals. Like,
It's the big game hunting. That's the problem. It's
It's
the
killing
lions,
anything for that
it's the
matter.
rhinos, it's the elephants, it's the giraffes. Like
Yes.
when you're doing shit like that, like I look at those animals and they're so foreign to me because we don't see
cool.
them regularly.
Right.
Yeah.
So to us, it's like, dude, why would you kill something like that? But if it was like even a dog, honestly, people are like, you shot a dog? Like what
Yes.
the fuck?
right.
You know,
Right.
like,
Because it's a
really
fucking
though.
dog. Like,
but any animal, like you shouldn't be shooting animals. That's
For
just
no reason.
That's really the point here. Like, don't shoot animals unless you plan on doing something. with
Consuming
it.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, I even have a
Consuming.
friend who actually buys a cow, and then when the cow's grown up, the slaughterhouse cuts it up and bags it up again,
Yeah.
and that's their meat.
Right.
That's instead
That's
of
a
going
great
to a
way.
supermarket.
You know, I actually saw just a butcher shop on 112 the other day, and I was like, I want to get meat from there because, for one, I don't know of another butcher shop.
no, that's.
And-
I would love to get
And
meat
for
from the
two,
butcher shop.
like you got to figure that's so much better meat than the shit you're getting from ShopRite or Stop and
Of course,
Shop.
because we're getting factory
There's one in
shit
Sayville
that-
that's really
shipments
good.
that
Is there?
Italian, yeah.
But yeah, like that was never even like a thought to me. Like go to the butcher shop and get me. Like even meat farms. Like that's
Yeah.
not.
yeah.
Meat farms is better.
It's
however-
better.
That's like the
But I
little
feel like
fish
their food
markets
goes,
that there used to be. Like,
like,
there
bad
used to be one
faster.
on Hawkins.
Right.
There
I
used to
don't
be
think
one
they
right
do.
here on the
Color
corner
to it
when you
to
go over
keep
the
it red.
bridge.
I
It
heard
was
in
on my
Savage Shop, shit
grandmother's
like that.
block. But what was I saying? I lost track. I
That's
lost
right.
train
And
of
we were
thought.
just talking about going to the butcher shop. Skype's open. Call up, NF.
Yeah,
What's up, baby?
I don't know. All right, let's get into what you wanted to get into. I think we got everyone we're going to get in here. So
We're ready to go?
yeah, let's do that.
All right. So we had a couple separate shows. We've actually talked about bullying and suicide and all types of shit. But tonight we wanted to do something a little bit different. And we wanted to not only talk about things, but we wanted to actually bring you our real life situations about ourselves, not necessarily speaking about anybody else, but talking about ourselves because you know what? Why not? It's the best way to be is honest. And I have spoke about a bully that I had. If everybody remembers that I used to say would growl and bark at me in the hallways to scare me and to get me, intimidated. Never touched me, never even got close to fighting with me. But however, she just had that persona that shut me down. Well, I want you guys to all meet Lynn
Ah.
was my high school bully about 2 years. It was very difficult. And my best friend Nicole over here, who also was in school with us, Lynn was her bully too.
Yes. Yes, I was.
Now, just so everybody else knows, I was also involved in most of these people's worlds, not lives, but at least worlds during this time. And I didn't really, I knew Jess, but we weren't like, and I honestly, I don't think I knew Nicole at all. I didn't
Yeah,
know
I
Nicole
don't
until
remember
we
you.
started dating. Yeah. But Lynn ran in my circle.
Right.
Like, you know, it's not like me and Lynn were hanging out, you know, one-on-one, but if I ran into people I hung out with, Lynn would be hanging out with
Sure,
some of
it's
the
like the
girls
same
that hung out
circle.
over
Yeah, yeah,
there,
yeah.
or, you know,
Absolutely.
she was a neighborhood girl. Like, we,
Right.
you know, there's neighborhood girls. Lynn was one of them.
Right.
So I'm hearing all this and I'm like, I had no idea. Like, this was a thing. Like, I knew Lynn, you know, was Lynn.
Right.
But I didn't know, because you don't think of it. And like I was
Well, unless
saying
you
when we
see
were
someone
off.
throwing
No, but
down,
not even
you know?
that. Like, even when you would see it, you would be like, ah, yeah, Lynn, fucking
Yeah.
get it. You know, like, fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
Talk about it.
Like, get it.
For sure. It's true.
Yeah.
And as a kid, you
But
don't
and
look
guys
at it
are
like that.
dicks too. Like
Yeah.
at that age, 15, 16, guys are like, fuck yeah.
They're pushing it.
Cat
They want
fight.
it. They
Yeah.
want
Whoop,
it.
whoop.
Even back then, like, I fought more dudes than I fought girls.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I didn't.
say,
True
Lynn,
story.
Lynn wasn't the
I,
cat fight.
True
to
story.
be honest,
Lynn was like
I'm,
punches.
yeah, I'm like one of those where like I hold a big value to women, and I don't think they should have their hands be put on a woman. And you know, I've made mistakes in my life, but like even as like growing up, like I realized that, you know, like that's something you don't do. Growing up with all boys, like trying to be the girl who can throw further than a boy,
Yeah.
who can do this, who
You were
can
the
do that,
tomboy.
you know?
Yeah,
So, like,
yeah.
I had to fight all the time. I had 3 brothers. There were 3 girls in my neighborhood, and the one girl looked like a dude.
Wasn't
Right.
Craigla on your block?
Who?
Craigla?
No.
No?
We're actually on like now a lot of station stuff, so I don't want to mention anybody's
I know,
names.
I know. That's why I don't want to either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care. But
No, I do because you know it's kind of personal. But so getting back though to
Where
the
did
subject.
you grow up?
I
Hi.
lived over on North Coates by Boston Market, Wallbounds, Blockbuster. We'll do it old
Yeah.
school.
Okay, yeah. By like
By
Justin
Kelsey
Kemp,
and-
Matt,
Yeah, same
Yeah.
block
Like
as
Matt
Justin.
behind,
Penny.
like behind the library.
Okay,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
I know exactly when it. That was I ran in that neighborhood too.
All right,
Yeah.
so listen. So, you know, back in school, 9th and 10th grade is when I had my run-in with Lynn, and that's when you had it too? 9th and 10th?
Yeah.
And again, we never had actual contact with each other, but at some point in time, you know, like we tried to be friends, it didn't work out. But I always held on to something that had happened that caused my parents to even get involved, and I never let go. I mean, I was someone that just did not want to let go of how she made me feel as a person growing up, you know? But I didn't know her life. I didn't know anything about her. I just knew my life. We had a run-in with each other again.
Can I just stop again real quick? And that's the funny thing. But no, I want to bring this up because it's an important detail.
Go.
Everybody like says that like you don't know my life. You know what I mean? You don't know what I'm going through. And 9 out of 10 times you don't go, I wonder what they're going through.
No,
you know what I
never.
mean?
Right.
Why do they behave this way? Why do they act out this way?
Right.
Why are they treating me like this? You never stop
Their
to think
home life,
that. You just go,
how they're
this is
raised.
what's fucked up about me. Fuck them. They
Right.
don't understand my shit.
Yes,
And
yes.
you don't even for a second stop and think, what's going on
They
with
might
their
have
shit?
some bad shit going on.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sorry to cut you
No,
off,
that's
but
I like this, and we
Yeah.
want you to be involved in it. You're the only person that's really not involved in it, you know. So, you know, later on in life, we had run each other into one of my family spots, and I was very rude and cold, and I actually had her thrown out. And
was I there?
no, you weren't around yet. And so I was a dick, and I tried to make it extra, so she was treated like shit, and I was just a dick. And
But the weird thing is that they didn't even treat me like a dick. They were like, come on, just let's go.
Yeah.
And they didn't say nothing until after I got back to the house.
right.
And then I was like, dude, what are you talking about? And then, like, I thought about it, and I was like, oh, now I get it. That's from
Yeah.
high school.
Right.
But you know, you got to remember, people carry that shit forever.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
held
Like,
on to it forever.
like I am not gonna sit here and claim innocent. Like, I was in the high school world. I was in the upper echelon of people. I was a dick sometimes.
sure, I hated you in high school.
But there was also some times where like I would see a situation and I'd be like, I'm not gonna let that ride. Like, yeah, this kid's a little weasel, but you're just being an asshole.
Right.
Like, enough is enough, you know what I mean, type of thing. And sometimes I wouldn't even let it get to the enough is enough. And a lot of my friends were like that. You know, Taylor, you know, everybody, we would all kind of be like, no, we don't like what you're doing. Like, I know we were assholes and we were dicks, but there was like more of a comedic
Yeah, but you know what?
way
For
of
me,
it.
this
If
was
that
the
makes
only
sense.
bully I had. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
nobody else would bully me because I also was very fresh and wild and open, and I had no problem at all fighting for
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
However, what she made me feel like was I would look at her and then immediately not want to look at her and act like I didn't see her because she'd be barking. And I'm like, fuck, this girl's gonna eat me, bro. Like, what am I gonna do? And I was smaller, and that was one person that barked back at me. You know how many people did not bark back at me? A lot.
And
So, you know, for me, when I used to bark
Yeah.
and people went like this, I was like, oh, okay, I know what I can do. And
Yeah.
she kind of fed off of...
She barked first.
Right.
That was the thing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
She fed
yeah.
off of how I reacted.
And what's funny too, like, people don't understand. Me and Jess go way back, but we weren't together.
No.
Like, we weren't friends. Like, we knew each other.
Yeah.
But we weren't like. So, like, as this was probably happening, because again, Lynn would roll with all the girls that were the neighborhood chicks that I knew. So as this is happening, I'm sure, you know, there was a moment where that just went down, and 2 seconds later, I'm walking up going, hey, Lynn, what up, Robbie?
Right,
what
right,
up,
right.
Nick? What up,
Yeah.
Jesse?
And nobody would
you
know anything,
And
of
I had no
course.
clue, and then here we are 20 years later.
And, like,
what a
for
fucking
you,
weird...
In school, like, when you would see me, like, why would you react like that to me?
Well, I mean, I think more it boiled down to jealousy. You know, like, I was the tomboy. Everybody looks at me as one of the boys. You know,
Right.
like, I never had, like, the, oh, she's hot, you know, like, that kind of thing. And, like, you know, like, all the, even now,
I-
like...
Did you think I was hot then?
Can I-
Because I
wait,
was not hot
Can I
then.
say something?
Well, you were
And-
goofy, but you
and
had
listen.
attention from boys that I did not
Yeah,
have.
here's the thing, and I'm going to back her up on this because, and you know, me and the guys, like Lynn was like
One of the dudes.
one of the dudes. Like, we
Right.
were always like, yo, don't fuck with Lynn. She'll fuck you up too, bro. Like,
Yeah,
like we
right.
would say to
Yeah.
our boys, we'd be like, she'll fuck you up,
Right.
dude. You better chill the fuck out.
Right.
You know, and that's just always how I think Lynn came across. Like, honestly, like
Right.
she was always just like, that's Lynn. You know what I mean?
Right,
That's like,
right.
she's
Yeah.
just chilling. She's one of the guys type of thing.
Yeah.
And I can totally understand that because in this world, for one, you know how women
Right.
should be, in the eyes of people, should be perceived. And for two, Sachem is a hoity-toity motherfucker, especially
sure.
back in the
Club
90s.
Sachem.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Shit.
You know,
Yes,
like
yeah,
everyone had
yeah,
their
yeah.
nose in the air. It was a fucking hoity-toity, you know. And people weren't set like that. Like, don't think it was like a Beverly Hills school.
No.
If people pretended it was a Beverly Hills
No,
school.
it was
Right.
more like a club that you were trying to get dressed up
because
and look pretty.
mommy and daddy, like, the most, like, newest car would be like a Mitsubishi Galant.
Yes, yes.
You know?
Or Mazda 626.
But that person would be like, I'm the shit in my Galant.
Right.
And everyone would be like, he is the shit in his Galant.
Yes, yes. No, for sure, because it was all an image, you know. And here I am thinking she hated me just because she didn't like me. But you continue. You were talking.
Yeah, it was just like a jealousy thing, you know, like that I wanted to be able to feel beautiful, you know, like, or someone say, hey, you're pretty, or, but I never had that because in the same aspect, I grew up in elementary
Did
school
you,
being picked on.
I'm sorry to, no, I know, but I want to answer, it's an important question. Did you have a mother growing up?
Yeah.
Okay,
But
all
she
right, all
died
right.
when I was 22.
Okay, all right.
Sorry to
But
hear
she was
that.
there for
But
the
it
most
was my
part.
mother,
Okay.
and then my mother was sick since I was 3.
Okay.
So she had epilepsy.
So it was more you taking care of her. Relax.
Kind of, sort of. It was just more like I didn't have a woman
Yeah.
in my life. So
Oh
that's
my God,
why I
like
became...
my heart's breaking right
No,
now.
don't worry.
I love you. I
No,
love you.
no,
I
but-
love
but-
you. This
and-
is
but
what
I
it
didn't-
is. This
I
and
is
didn't
what I
have
mean,
a woman
like-
to like teach me how to put makeup on. Like
Yeah.
Nicole would be like, "Here, let me pick your eyebrows," and I'm like, "Fuck off of me!"
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want that shit, you know.
My-
Like
you know who's like that? My aunt. My aunt is exactly like this. You know the aunt I'm talking about too, right?
I love you. This is so good.
But you know the aunt I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, my aunt is exactly like this, and there, and that I look at that and go, that's got to be so hard for a woman and a girl, not a woman, because right now we're talking about girls. We're not talking about women at this
Right.
point. You're talking about 15,
Yeah.
16-year-old girls in high school, and I look at that and I go, that is again something people don't even start to think about. And Lynn, clearly is going through some horrible
Right.
shit.
And that's nothing I know.
And
right?
exactly.
You know?
So now
Definitely
you
nothing
just
we knew
look at
back
it
then.
and go,
Right.
wow, what a
Yeah.
fucking cunt this girl is for no reason.
But look at
and
us
it's
now.
because
Fuck
you
that.
look at it and go, I didn't do anything to her. This is for no reason. And
Right.
it's like, no, she's got a lot of shit going on. And
Right.
people pop. You know, people.
Yes.
It's human nature. People pop. So it's funny to look back now as adults and you go, okay, now it all makes sense, because even if someone was to explain it to you at 15, you'd be like, well, fuck her and her mother anyway.
Yeah.
Honestly,
You
most
wouldn't
people
care then.
would.
You don't care
because
then.
at that point, you don't understand the value of life. You don't understand the people's home lives and how they affect them and how just everything affects people.
Yeah.
But once you reach a certain point, you know, we're in our all late 30s, almost 40s, you go, okay, you understand a lot more. You understand that, you know, people think and people feel, and
And I
that's
was
not
the opposite.
shit
I
you
was doing
think about
anything to
at
get
15 or
attention
16.
because I had issues
Yeah.
with my stuff. So keep going. So
So, like, for me, like, it was a constant battle. Like, even in elementary school, I think that's what it boils down to. Elementary school, I was picked on. I played in the woods with all the boys. I got lice. Ew, she has lice. Let's not be her friend.
Oh no!
And-
Did that really happen?
Yeah.
Dude, that's
You know,
that's
and
that's
thousands
career
of kids
ending.
get it.
In
You know what I
elementary
mean?
school, though, that's career ending
Yeah.
because now
It's like
you're the kid
cooties.
who got like, yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
So then, you know, like, but other kids had it, but it was like, let's pick on Lynn because it was easier to pick on her.
Right.
Yeah.
And then once I hit Seneca,
right.
shout out to Seneca.
oh shit, you were Seneca with me.
Like
Wow.
I turned into like a different person because I got a chance
Right.
to like create this new person.
Right.
And like I would always be angry to keep you at this distance because I don't want you here.
Right.
I want you here because it's safer.
Right.
Don't let me know that you know what I know.
Right.
You know,
Dude.
like
I just remembered something. One of the first few times I smoked pot was with you, Sal Buffer, outside
Oh
of
my
Seneca.
fucking God,
I swear to
Buffer.
God.
Rest in
That's
peace,
a
Sal
fucking
Buffer.
name.
I
Outside
love
of
him.
Seneca at the
Yeah.
fucking fence.
You
Sal
smoking
Buffer,
motherfucker.
Joey, no, Joey Canistra.
I love Joey.
Joey's one of my favorite people ever. I haven't spoken to him, but I see him on social media and stuff,
Yeah.
and he's still one of my favorite people
kid's
ever.
beautiful.
But I was the young 7th grader, and Joey was 8th grade and very like into everything. So
Yeah.
he took me under his wing because I knew him from camp. Like we went to camp together, and he's
Camp.
like, "Oh, rock!" So he just took me under his wing. And 7th grade, the first week, I was immediately introduced to
Was
everybody
it band
in 8th
camp?
grade.
Was it not?
No, it was not. It was, you know, here's the name of the
one
camp.
time
It was
in band.
Young People's Day Camp.
Oh, young people's. I always wanted to go there
Yeah.
because they had that
Oh
smiley
my
face.
God, Lynn's like, I
Dude,
wanted to
it was the shit. It
I
was
was
the
never
best
allowed to
camp
go to
ever. They
camp.
brought us the Splish Splash, the movies,
All right,
Adventure Land.
all right, let's not fall off. Let's not fall off.
I'm like now remembering we go that far fucking back. Like I've known Lynn since I'm 12 years old now that
Right.
I'm thinking about
Yeah.
it. It's fucking crazy.
So we talked how I was feeling. We talked about how you're feeling, Nicole. So why don't you chime in and explain a little bit about the relationship you had with Lynn in high school? I'm going to step and grab a drink. Anybody need anything?
Just grab me one just in case.
Well, we actually went
Yeah,
to
but-
elementary school together, but
I actually went to school with your sister.
What elementary
Yeah.
school?
Nicole
Nicole
missed.
Nokomis. Okay. Okay.
I don't really remember much of you though from elementary school. I remember
Now hold up. Do you remember her from elementary school?
I remember her sister.
Okay.
Her
Again,
sister.
Lynn.
And that girl.
Melissa.
No, not Melissa. It starts with a K.
Lynn.
Kristen. Yeah. Oh, Kristen. And your sister.
And they were
Picked on
shitty.
me bad.
Okay. Now.
In elementary school, the
now,
girl Kristen
see,
was
that's
like
your sister's
really
fault.
mean.
Everything that
Kristen
happened.
Weimer.
Yes.
Now everything that happened is because of your sister.
No, it's not.
Yes, it
It was
is.
all because of a rumor.
No, but either way, the sister and this other one fucked with you in elementary school. So regardless, you
Yeah, but
already had
no,
a
I
bad
didn't connect
taste.
it with her at that time.
Subconsciously, I'm telling you, subconsciously, because it has to be.
The whole fight was basically it was something that had happened,
And you guys had a real fight.
and I didn't.
She.
I brutally
got
beat the
jumped.
shit out of
Yeah,
her.
She did.
Like,
she had me
it's-
pinned up against the car and was like
She-
punching me in the face, and other
she's
people
the reason
were
why
kicking
I
me.
tried to like.
Who else was kicking
Learn.
you? Do you know
No,
what?
it was
Just
a bunch
forget
of
it.
girls.
Yeah,
There was
don't
like
even.
10 girls.
I don't need to know
They
that.
had me
I'm
pinned
sure
up
I
against
know
the
most
car.
of them, but now, now it was a rumor.
It was a rumor that one of my boys, and I believed him over her because I didn't know her. So don't disrespect my boy
Yeah.
is how it came across, and then like. The things that I did to her are like they still haunt me to today.
You know what, though? And I don't mean this like that's a good thing, but it's a good thing for you in the sense that at least you recognize the fact that it wasn't right. You know what I mean? And you carry that with you. And people don't understand that either, that some people, they do carry that shitty stuff they did with them. Like...
Almost like they're proud of it, but...
No. But what I'm saying is, like, they carry it and they can't let it go. Like Nicole has said, I forgive you and everything. Yeah. And I'm sure still to this day, you're like, I still feel awful about it.
Yeah.
So you need to let it go if she's...
No. Like, I've let it go, but, like, in the same aspect, there's times that, like, when I have to reflect on it. Like, when I was brought... into this, invited to this, I have to reflect.
We throw a hood over.
I was like, bitch, I'm bullying you to the show.
At the end of the show, they're gonna all beat me.
This is all a setup, guys. Come out.
Yes. I have to say that I was really I was more concerned for her than anything, like having this show, because I didn't want her to feel like
we were bombarding
it was like,
her.
No,
but
I didn't want her to feel like we were bullying her.
No, and it never would be because for one, everyone's friends.
Yeah, but what happened?
For two, it's now like a reflecting thing. Like you look back and go, wow, how stupid are kids.
Absolutely.
And real quick, you look at your kids and you go, I'm telling you this is how it is. Please believe me. The high school doesn't matter, none of this. Please. And they look at you and they go, yeah, right, you don't know what you're talking about. And you're like, fuck, just listen to me, please.
Because never in my life would I, Jessica had told me about how she had reconciled with Lynn, and I looked at her and I was like, please don't ever mention my name to her. Yep. I said, you have no idea what this girl did to me in high school. And that same night.
But wait. Yeah. So let me just really quick tell everybody. After that time that I had the run-in with Lynn when we were out, she had gone back to my family's establishment, and on my birthday, she had left a card with scratch-offs in it, and she had wrote a letter asking for me to please forgive the things that she had done to me, because she felt very bad. And in my heart I wanted to be like, yeah, whatever, but I was hurting, and I said to her, you know what, I had reached out and said, I want to say what I want to say.
Things never got physical between you.
Never.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, just so everyone knows that.
But I had said to her, I'm like, you know what? If we're going to do this, I want to say what I have to say. I need you to know what you did to my life. Get it off, and then we'll move on. And we were able to have such an amazing conversation, and we were able to squash it. Then when I had spoke to Nicole, Nicole was like, please, I don't care, blah, blah, blah. And I said, you know what? In my heart, because I love Nicole, I said, I'm going to talk to Lynn. And I had told her to come by to talk to me. And I said, I'm fine with, being all right with you. But in order for us to be cool, I need you to talk to Nicole, because she is so hurt from all this stuff. And she, with tears in her eyes, was like, I will talk to her right now. I'm sorry. It was horrible. And she actually didn't really remember too much of who Nicole was. And then they started talking. But we were all three able to look at it, respect each one of our atmospheres at the time that made us what we were, and now appreciate how far we have come and grown to love each other. Like, I love this bitch. She came and helped shovel my driveway when I was pregnant. She came and helped Nicole do
she helped me move.
Oh, right, exactly.
With 24 hours notice. I'm moving tomorrow. Oh, you need help? Okay, great. Me and Mike are there.
Yeah, I'm one of those people. I didn't talk to Nicole probably for a year, and she messaged me and was like, can you help me move? And I was like, I'm down.
Yeah.
That's how I am.
We didn't talk for a while.
It's so funny because when you're at that age, though, that is the world.
You think it's everything.
You don't think there's a future, pretty much.
Right.
This is going to be forever.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's so important at that time. And in the grand scheme of things, you look back now, like I said, we're almost in our 40s, and you go, it meant nothing.
Right.
Yep.
That is the most minuscule part of your life in all reality. School is 12 years, and it's gone like that, and then you're 18.
And you're like, fuck
and
it,
you're thrown into the motherfucking world, and you go, oh, that was a cakewalk.
Yeah.
I would do that forever.
Exactly.
Make fun of my sneakers. I have no bills. You know what I mean?
Give a shit.
No fucking bills.
No responsibilities. But you, at the time, and you have to understand that as a parent as well, because you have to remember, I have an older daughter. She's 19, and I always go, because she's not that far off from when I was 19. Right. It's only 17 years.
Right.
I'm not that old where I don't remember being 19.
Right.
So when things happen, I go, I completely understand how you're thinking and where you're thinking. and what you're thinking. But
Right.
I'm telling you, because I've been in this spot. I remember it very vividly. Trust me when I tell you, it's going to get so much worse. Right. Things don't get better from 16 to 18. Things get worse, and not worse in like, I'm getting raped or beat up, but worse in now I have a car payment, I have insurance, I have a phone bill, I have maybe rent, I have to get gas, I have to eat.
And you gotta follow rules, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Nobody wanted to ever follow rules.
All of a sudden, mommy and daddy aren't there for everything.
Right.
And now it's like, oh, that was the easy part of life.
And then also, though, we as women, all have children here, we all look and go, fuck, what about our kids now going through this shit in school?
Yep.
We would never want our children to feel or do what we've done. And might I add, just because she bullied me did not mean that I did not fuck with other people. I had a hand problem. I have fought a lot of people that I should not have and done things.
How old is your kid? Boy or girl?
My daughter Jack, shout out Jack, she's 21.
And she's 21.
My son James is 17.
Now, when I'm going to use your daughter specifically because it pertains more to this situation. When she was in high school, was it easygoing for her, or did she have problems?
She had problems.
Okay. Now,
well,
and I'm not trying to bring this into your head either, but I'm wondering, do you ever sit back and go and look back at your high school career and go, this is because of me? Like, this is karma coming back for me.
No, because you know what? She's her own person, and it's her own journey.
Yes.
That's
a great,
I think more it was she was going to Deer Park High School at one point, which is a lot smaller than Sachem. When she switched into Sachem, it was downhill right after that.
Yeah. Well,
because
you get
there's so many kids.
Sachem's a shit show,
it's a lion's den.
now.
Yeah, and you were talking about
she got thrown into high school.
I drove an 88 Ford F-150. The back of it was a red Chevy.
Yeah.
Had a muffler problem. It was called the Beast. Shout out, everybody knows the Beast. But like, I drove this piece of junk vehicle because, my parents lived paycheck to paycheck. My father hung out in a bar. My mom, she couldn't really keep an eye on me, and like, I was just constantly running around looking for the next person to get attention from.
Right.
Yeah.
Whether it was negative or positive, I was going after it.
Right.
That hurts in your relationship shit, though.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, because now you're like, oh, this guy's great for the first 2 months.
Right.
And then all of a sudden he's not great, but you're like, fuck it, he's giving me any attention.
Right.
So now it's like, I'll deal with a lot of bullshit now when you shouldn't. You know what I mean? Like, you definitely shouldn't. No one should. But some people just, I think, get in those situations and you're like, well, either, and I'm not saying this is your thing, but some people think maybe I deserve this, or some people just go, well, I like any attention, whether it be negative, and they're not saying it's consciously going, I love negative attention, but they're getting something,
right.
When you weren't, something's better than nothing.
Right.
That's pretty much what I'm saying.
Agreed. And I also feel that, people need to be more complimentary to others rather than negative.
People are very quick. It's easier to be negative, though. That's why. Yeah. And people, especially where we are, like, people don't understand. Like, if you're in Texas or you're in Kentucky or Alabama or California, people are kind of cordial. In New York, it's like if you walk past somebody and go, "Hey, how's your day going? Nice, have a nice day." Yeah. Just randomly on the street. A New Yorker's gonna go, the fuck you say?
Yes.
Like, who the fuck's this guy?
Yeah, like, what the fuck you mean have a nice day, cocksucker?
Right.
Fuck you have a nice day. You fucking have a nice day, asshole. What about your fucking business?
Spoken like a true fucking New Yorker.
But it's true because we're so quick to get defensive because everyone in New York is. So you have to be. But you leave New York, and there's other cities, not states. Everyone in New York is pretty much like that except the
northern New
upstate.
Yorkers.
They're weird. But cities are mostly like that too. Chicago's LA, not LA. LA's a bunch of fucking
ding dong.
But
I just kind of feel like as you get older, you start to like the insecurities go away not as much
because the responsibilities come in.
Yeah, and you learn to like work on yourself,
and accept yourself, exactly.
How to like control the anger, how to like voice the situation, how to how to approach things
problem solving
differently
skills.
Rather than negatively. Like they say, you get more bees with honey than you do vinegar.
Exactly.
So if I say, hey, can you do me a favor, Rocky? You're going to be more inclined to help me out than if I say, hey, go do this.
Right.
It's all in wording and how you do different things.
Well, and the
communication.
Thing is, it's not hard.
We had communication because you're visually looking at somebody and judging and then making your assumption instead of being like, hey, how you doing? You don't know what that person is.
And again, I can't speak for a lot of people because, again, being in New York, you're in a different environment.
I call this me island. Me, me.
Yeah,
Everybody
and-
is for themselves. They don't,
But the people
they're
that
not worried
aren't,
about others.
and I'm one of those people, Jess is one of those people, you're one of those people, you're one of those people. The people that aren't wear their hearts on their sleeves till they die.
Yeah.
And they will ride or die with friends, with family, no
Yes.
matter who it is.
Yep.
If you're important in my life, like I remember even being in high school or even a little bit after, like you weren't that important in my life, but you're in my circle now. Like if shit's going down or anything's happening and I can somehow help you out, I'm
Right.
definitely going to do
Why
it.
not?
You know
Yes.
what I
Exactly.
mean? Like I'm not
Yes.
going to sit there and let you fall
But that
while
comes with
the
our
rest of us
growth.
aren't.
That comes with our growth, realizing that life isn't all about fucking you. Yes, I do take care of myself and I love myself, but my life is also about my husband and my children and my family and my friends. And you have to give to get. You can't just be like, I want everything. You know, that's not how the fucking world
I
works.
think the realization crosses over that you go, this is my life, but this is my life because I did this.
Right.
This is
Yeah.
my life. Like, there's no other one to blame. There's no
Right,
one
we
else to point a
chose.
finger at except me. This is my shit.
I heard a dingle and then
Yeah, it's funny because it's
am I the
You got a
dingle?
call?
yeah.
Who is it?
Call back. Call back.
Don't be
Mama.
scared. Call back. Come on, guys.
I want it. Yes.
Mama.
Yes.
Call back, Ma.
Please call
My
back.
mother calls every now and
Oh,
then.
wait.
I love when
She's
your
a
mother
great woman.
calls.
Hello, Mama.
Yeah, she's a great woman. But yeah,
And Ma, remember when you call in, shut off your YouTube. Jesus. Well, I guarantee it's on.
It's echoing.
$100. Ma,
Hello.
the YouTube's off. I'm stunned.
hi, Ma.
Hi, Ma.
I'm glad you're watching tonight.
It takes me a while, but I get there.
You got it. What's up, Ma?
Nothing. I just wanted to say, I think when this is a great show, by the way,
Thank
and
you.
I just wanted to say, I think when you get older, you learn. You know, there's an old Elvis Presley song that says "Walk a mile in my shoes," and I think that you learn that when people are talking to you, maybe it's not always about you. Maybe it's about them, about something that's going on in their life, about maybe they're having a rotten fucking day.
Well, that goes back to people don't listen and just wait for their turn to talk.
Well,
And
yeah.
and someone can even be telling you their struggles and their problems, and you're like, oh, I can't wait to tell you about my struggles and problems because you brought yours up. And it's like, I don't even
Well-
fucking hear what you're saying. Now I'm thinking of all the shit I want to say.
Well, that's what I mean. I even tell my students. I teach a communications class, and I tell my students that people only hear, and this is actually a fact, people only hear 25% of what is said to them. And the reason for that is that when the other person starts talking,
You start
you
thinking.
immediately start thinking of your response.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about what they're saying.
Right,
So
instead of
even when
soaking it in.
people are arguing with each other, sometimes you're supposed to actually repeat to the other person, is this what you said?
Now, is
Because
this
you don't hear what they said.
something you can untrain yourself to do?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Like I feel like I have, but I'm like maybe I could be wrong, and I'm the
I
dummy.
think people do it, especially when they're, especially husbands and wives and girlfriends and boyfriends. Like when I teach a class, I tell them, when your girlfriend starts telling you, could you please take the garbage out? You don't hear, could you please take the garbage out? You hear, motherfucker, you didn't take the garbage out yet.
Yes.
And
You're right, Ma.
But
and you
also,
are already thinking about all the reasons that you're going to defend yourself.
but
about why
she's
you were
also
too
coming
busy.
into it. Here's the defense, though, as a man, because now we're speaking men and women, and as a man, she's going into it like, why didn't this motherfucker think to take the garbage out? Now I gotta tell him to take the garbage out when maybe he
Yes.
did, but he just didn't want to right now.
But that's
Oh,
what I
I
tell
hate
people
that.
all the time. That's
6-month honey
those
to-do
are-
list.
Those are communication skills. You have to speak. You have to say what you mean. You have to mean what you say. And when you're speaking to somebody, you should be spending 60 or 70% of your time listening, not talking. Because immediately we start to think about, well, why did she say that? And this is my defense. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say that, and I can't wait. So you didn't hear anything that the person speaking to you said.
Now-
that is an absolute statistic. 25%. When you think about that,
That's a big
you
number.
only hear 25% of what somebody says to you.
Yeah.
That's really pretty sad.
I mean, it's a big number of not paying attention is what I mean by that.
Not paying attention. Yes.
Now, also, I think a lot of it, and again, this comes back, I don't know how it is in the rest of the country or world. I can't speak for that. But in New York, it's a hostile atmosphere, whether you're in an office, whether you're in school, whether you're on the street, whether you're at the bakery, no matter what it is, it's always a pissing contest here. So here, you're like, everything is like, you're not going to fucking one-up me. Fuck you. I'm going to get over you. Like, you're not going to hold me back. I'm going to hold you back. Because everyone has that mentality of, I'm better than you. And not, I'm better than you, and like, I'm better than you, some people, or I'm better than you for no reason. But I'm better than you because I want to be better than you. Like,
but some people, and where you have to think about it is, this is a very dog-eat-dog environment.
Yeah.
Because people are struggling to get ahead here. It's very hard to make ends meet here.
But when you do, now it's like you go from I'm struggling. There's no like gray area. It's I'm struggling, I'm doing really well.
Right.
Yes.
And there's because of the no gray area, the people on the I'm struggling are like, fuck you. Like they're not doing that much better than me, but they're doing enough where they're comfortable and I'm not. Fuck you.
Right.
Yes. Yes. But I'll tell you one other thing from the business world, and I know you guys are dealing mostly with personal stuff here.
No, but still,
I'll tell you one other little thing. When, like Computer Associates, for example, when Computer Associates used to be over on Exit 58 over there, their big thing, Charles Wang, if you worked for Computer Associates, you would work there for a year, let's say, in one department, and then he would put you in another department, and then in another department. And by the time you were there 2 or 3 years, you had worked in every department. And the reason for that was that you know yourself, when you work in a certain area, you think nobody else is working as hard as your department.
And no one can do the job you're doing either. Like only I can do this job.
You have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
You have no idea what their job entails. You have no idea what the stress is involved there. So when you are stuck in that situation, then you can look back and say, "Oh, wait a minute, he's working just as hard as I was."
Yeah.
Or that person's working just as hard as I was. I was mistaken.
I'll catch myself at work doing that with friends at work, and I'll go, they don't fucking they don't know what I go through. And then after a second and I hear myself, I go, shut up. I'm like, everyone here is saying the same shit. I'm replaceable, you're replaceable. Everyone is like, people can come in and end up doing this the way I do it. Like, don't fucking think that, who the fuck you are. Like, yeah, I do my job good, but don't fucking be this guy that's like, I'll fucking burn this motherfucker down and they won't fire me. They can't get rid of me.
Nobody realizes that everybody's got the same problems. Everybody's got a kid sick, or bills they can't pay, or the car broke down, or today is just a really, really shitty day.
Right.
And I don't really want to talk nice to you. I just really want you to leave me the hell alone.
Well,
and nobody gets that. And for Lynn, congrats to you, Lynn. You're amazing, absolutely amazing. You're a very strong and amazing woman. But I get it. When you are in a position where you don't feel like you can compete with the pretty girl, and believe it or not, I was a very pretty girl as a teenager,
but
nerd. I didn't know it.
She was a nerd.
I had no clue. I thought I was a skinny, ugly, 4 eyes. I wore glasses, and people used to tease me all the time.
That's what I wanted to know. Wait, hold on, Mama. Let's stay on that real quick, because you grew up in the 50s. We'll say, was your high school time like grade school?
Yeah.
What kind of teasing was it then? Like, were you teased maliciously, like a lot, or what kind of teasing was it?
I was teased that I wore glasses, that I was 4 eyes. I was teased that I was skinny, that Boney Maroney, they used to call me, because I was 85 pounds when I got married, and it was a cruel. I never made the cheerleaders. I wasn't part of the in crowd or the in crowd. I was part of the semi-in crowd. You know what I mean? But there are always cliques. There have been since the beginning of time.
And even
there are always cliques. And you're never going to be in, the cool kid clique. And the cool kids suck anyway.
Now, Ma, let me ask you this. Because you weren't the cool kid in high school, was a little harder, and all that stuff was a little harder. Do you still look back in that and go, I wish it was different. Like, is that something you still hold on to? Like, you wish you were maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
and that's crazy because my mother's in her 70s and still, and that's what we're trying to get across here.
Oh, yeah.
Like, don't be an
And-
asshole to people because she's in her 70s and she still goes, I wish I could have been in the in crowd.
Oh my
Well,
God,
and I'll
Ma.
tell you why.
And her son
I'll
was,
tell
so
you
that's why she probably didn't
Because-
like me too much because she would see me in my
Ma, I'll find
illustrious
her.
high school career
Give
of
me her
popularity.
name, Ma. Who is she? I'll drop off some dinner, no problem, all right?
Actually, the biggest bully that I had when I was in high school died about 20 years ago of breast cancer, so I can't even say anything bad about her. Poor thing. It was really sad. But she had issues too. You know, it wasn't that she was picking on me because she was picking on me. I mean, you know, and I ended up marrying, you know, one of the greatest cool kids.
Well, that's what I was just going to say.
You know, who like ruled the school.
Yeah.
And, you know, was like the leader of the pack in no uncertain terms.
So if people
But
can
I
understand, my mother
But
was
I was
Adrian. My father was Rocky, and I'm not kidding. I'm not. Ma, am I lying at all? You were Adrian. He was Rocky.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
He wasn't dumb like
Absolutely,
Rocky.
My
without a
husband's
doubt.
obsessed with the movie.
But he
Without a
wasn't
doubt.
dumb like Rocky. But it was literally the greaser with his fucking hair slicked back, his cigarettes, and his white
Oh, yeah.
T-shirt, the
Oh,
black
yeah.
jeans, and my mother with the
Absolutely.
pointy fucking nerdy
Absolutely.
glasses.
The only difference was he was more like Sylvester Stallone is in real life because he was brilliant.
Right.
But the truth of the matter is, I was a very serious, withdrawn young child and teenager, and my sister was this very outgoing, fun-loving, friendly person who had friends all over the place, and I always wanted to be her. Okay.
And you're the
I
older
couldn't-
one, which is even worse.
I'm the older one, but I couldn't figure out how to do that. I didn't know how to do that. I
You
still
know
don't
why
how to
too,
do
Ma?
that.
Now this also because I look back at my situation and I go, well, he won't remember that. You were older when all that went on. Aunt Lou wasn't.
Yeah.
So she doesn't have that same emotional baggage you have because you took it to not a much
Right.
more mature level, but a more mature level than she would have at. What were you when
Absolutely.
your father left? How old were you?
I was 9.
All right,
She
so
was
Aunt Lou
7.
is 7 or 6.
Yeah.
Exactly. At 6 or 7 years old, it's not. It's wow, he's leaving, but you don't understand it. You
Well,
understand at 9.
She was very destroyed by that. Where I wasn't, because I stuffed everything down. But she was very
Angry, though.
outwardly. She was very outwardly.
I
upset.
got Mom
was
smiling
angry on the
now.
inside.
It took me 7 years, but Mom laughs
You know what?
now.
Oh, but
It's
my
empty.
But
mother.
you know what?
My mother, though, she's like me. If I love you, and I'll do anything for you. If I don't like you, though, I'm gonna let you know I don't like you, and
She's not a fake person.
I'm never gonna like you. Most likely, like
Well,
most
that's kinda
likely,
good.
I'm never gonna like you. That's just the
That's
way the
because
world
I'm
works.
Sicilian, and Sicilians, we kind of have a thing, You can step on us and step on us and step on us, but then all of a sudden, one morning we wake up and we go, "That's it, you're fucking dead."
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love
So
you.
it's like in a heartbeat, it changes.
Yeah.
So we try to be very giving, but then when it's done, it's done. But what you have to know from all of this is that all of that just makes you who you are.
Right.
And it doesn't affect what you can achieve or
No, it makes
what
you
you
stronger.
can do or how you can change the world or it affects you learn to just accept yourself for who you are.
Well,
we
I feel
all
like-
have baggage.
I feel
we
like
all have faults.
Everybody has baggage.
I feel like there's two ways that people take those situations. You either take it and you play the poor me route.
Yep.
And then there's the people
Yeah.
that go, oh, I'm going to show you what I can do. And then I'm going
Right.
to cram it down your fucking throat, you cocksucker.
Well,
like, because you're like, oh, I'm going to feed off. But it's serious.
Yeah,
like,
it's rough.
because a lot of people do shit out of spiteful vengeance where it's like, you're going to shit on me. And now watch what I do with my life. And I know where you're going to end up. Like, I can
Right.
see it already. And now I'm going to do something so good with my life. And I'm just going to cram it down your fucking throat. Like, I'm going to go to the high
Exactly.
school reunion and go,
I'm
look at
cursing at your
me.
mother.
She
And,
knows. She curses like I do.
Hopefully by the time you get to your ages, you accept who you are for who you are,
Right.
with all of your warts and all of your
Whoa,
halos.
who's got warts?
And you know that you are who you are, and you love yourself for everything that you do that's good.
Right.
And that's all you can do because everybody has hurdles in their lives. Lynn had her mother. I had a bastard of a father. May he rest in peace. But we all have those things. You had your brother and the loss of your father at a very young age. Everybody has baggage.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of it is not as heavy as other people's, but when you're carrying it, it's heavy.
Right. And who
But
will
and
judge
that's the
anybody
thing.
carrying
Honestly,
it?
it's like there's
we all
like
carry it
3
how
or
we do.
4 monumental events, maybe 5, depending on your life, really. Those are the ones you carry forever. Those are the ones like where something like dumb will happen, and that is the thing that pops in your head.
Or
You
something.
get what I'm saying?
horrible.
But there's those certain moments in life that you just cling to, and a lot of things will remind you of that situation for some reason. But those certain 4 or 5 things, just bang, 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 are those moments in life that completely shape and mold who you
Ma,
are.
how many times do I call you banging my head across the wall, right? I mean, she tells me, no backsies. You married him. Now he's yours.
Yeah, right. No, she goes, my son's perfect. What did you do, whore?
She doesn't call me a whore, but she does call me a bitch. And I love you for that, Ma.
Good night.
All right, good night, Ma. We love
Good
you.
night, Ma. I love you. My mommy's the best.
She is the best. So, for sure, I guess we all think about the situation and we have to understand that we don't know everybody. You don't know that person. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know how they feel. And here we are, 3 very mature, settled, and amazing women that can look back and go, you know what? Not only did you make me a little bit tougher, but when you came into my life, I was able to tell you how you made me feel, and you not only accepted, but you loved me for it. And I appreciate that from you. And your passion to fix things. I do appreciate that. And I love you for that. And
Yeah.
you know that.
I'm always the first person that'll admit I'm wrong when I do things, When I was a kid, I used to, do dumb shit, and, I didn't like it. So now it's like, as I'm older, they used to always say, you're never going to amount to nothing. You're not going to do this. You're not, you're nothing.
Nick, call in. Keep going. Nick,
and,
call in.
For me, it was, I believed it for a while until I finally said, you know what, enough is
My
enough.
cousin.
And I got to
know.
chase what I want, and I wound up, you're never too old. This is my philosophy. You're never too old to learn. You're never too old to go back to school. You're never too old to change your career. I was
A lot of people
36 and
a lot of
decided to go
people
back to
think,
school.
though, yeah, but a lot of people go, I'm fucking 36. I
Right.
can't fucking
Yeah.
do it now.
Right, so
And a lot of
36.
people just give up. They throw the towel in. They're
You
like,
want to know
fuck
the
it.
funniest thing? At 36, I paid attention in school more than I did when I
Of
was in high
course,
school.
because now it
You know?
matters. Now you
Yeah.
go, this is my fucking my house,
and,
my mortgage, my car.
If
you know?
I didn't change that part of the career portion, I feel I worked at Home Depot and I loved Home Depot. That is I'm an orange-blooded person. For Home Depot people that know that, I bleed orange.
Yeah.
Home Depot was a great career. They're awesome, but I couldn't do it anymore because I was working in tool rental lifting 200-pound pieces of machinery.
Right.
Yeah.
And now I work at a pulmonary office where I help people, and it gives me joy to put a smile on a guy's face just because I told him a funny joke.
Right.
I'd rather
not?
make one person happy than
And honestly, the people
nobody.
you're making happy could be in life or death situations.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
You know?
But why
absolutely.
not, though? Where do we lose off that people got so hateful and judgy and segregated?
Social media.
It's true story.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel for the most part,
Oh,
Nowadays,
yeah.
you see somebody fight, you're picking up your phone and you're videoing it. You're not trying to break it up.
Nope.
You're not saying some bullshit story of, the cops are coming, even though they're not.
Here's
but just
the other
because
thing
you want
too,
them to break it up.
with social media. It's
We're desensitized.
fuck you,
Definitely.
fuck your mother, fuck your aunt, fuck your
Right,
sister.
right.
I'll fucking rape your dad while you fucking.
Right,
and
no,
it
it's
doesn't
true.
matter
Yeah.
because guess what? I'm 3,000 miles away from
They'll
you.
never see him. Right.
Fuck you.
Nowadays,
Fuck
sure.
you.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
you kidding me?
But at
Yeah.
the end of the day, though, what they're doing is just bringing that energy to. There are some people that will say things. Of course, they watch
And
my show
trust
from
me,
fucking Nebraska or wherever they're
I've
from. They
done
don't know
and
me.
said horrific.
Right. But they'll
things.
write or
Oh,
say
yeah.
things.
Don't get me wrong.
And inside, I legit will go, I don't care. I don't care what your opinion is of me. Let's get this call.
Oh, this is a boy.
Let's get this call. Oh.
Over from Ireland. Hi, Nif Punk, how you doing?
Shut your goddamn mouth.
Oh, you shut your goddamn mouth.
Yes. Do it. Talk to us.
Where are we? We're over in Dublin. I'll get a pint.
Yeah, don't get. Why am I even
Come,
mimicking?
dude, come on. That was pretty good Irish, though. Was I not doing it pretty decent for an American?
It's all right.
No, you talk. Let's hear it. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Top of the
brother.
morning to ya.
Now this old boy NF Punk though from Ireland. I love this guy. What's up, brother?
Like I was listening, you're talking about bullying and stuff like that. Like I think the way it was, like, you know, the way as you get older, you become more like mature and like a sensible way where you actually like, damn, I was actually a shitty person back then for, you know, bullying that person or whatever reason. But like, always remember, like, you will never reach higher ground by pushing other people down, and that's a fact.
Yeah, but at
Like-
the time, you know, like when you're young, you just don't see future
Yeah,
as a
because you
thing.
want to
It's
fit
all
in,
about the
man.
moment.
Yeah, because it's like you want to fit in and be cool and, hey, look what I can do, and being like a gang that can fucking smoke weed and fucking drink and all that shit. Like,
Honestly, that was my most
Because-
important thing in high school. Where's the next blunt?
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
you
even
know what,
kidding.
though?
Like, I
Like-
was like, I want to smoke a blunt.
But
like,
for other people who didn't smoke blunts back then, we just wanted
yeah,
to
it was
be
like
cool
peer
and
pressure or
pretty.
whatever, right? Yeah. Like, it'd be more of a peer pressure thing where, like, if you're hanging out with people and you know that they're the wrong sort of people to be hanging around with, but you still do it anyway because you want to be in that fucking mentality where you won't get bullied or anything.
See, and I get that because, and I'm not being this guy, but it always came very easy to me just to be in that circle. Like, if that, I don't know, I can't explain it. Like, honestly, maybe I fell into it, like because of
Right.
friends I've had, but I always was able to be in the top circle. Like in high school, in junior high school, in grade school, it was always.
But what is it now? Doesn't matter.
No, now it doesn't matter
Now
at
it's
all.
not. Who gives a
But
shit?
but you know, at the time it mattered everything. And I always just kind of just naturally just went into it. Like I
Right.
was never like trying to be part of it. I was just always a part of it.
Right.
And I look at it, it's the majority of situations. And again, I was a dick, but I was never like punching people in the face, dick. Like, you know, maybe like I would make fun
You
of you a
didn't
little
bark at
bit.
people?
No. You know, I might make fun of someone.
Can we get a bark? Can we get an example?
but
What
you
was
know, so
that?
like I look at this, but I look at this and I go, this is totally a world I don't understand, and like I do though. Like I look at it from my perspective of again, I'm not to be this fucking guy, but it was just easier for me. It really was.
Sure.
And you look at it from that perspective, and you go, "Wow, you do not look at it
Now,
at all like that
I
when
have
you're
a
in the
question
moment.
for
Like,
Ed.
like in the
Well,
moment,
that's
you're
the
like,
reason.
"Hey, these are
Yeah.
my friends. Look
Like-
at who I'm with."
Like I've always said that I always feel like a red dot in a sea of blue dots. Like I don't fit in. But the difference is, as I got older, I actually embraced being different.
Right,
You know,
right. When
but
younger, we
even
wanna
in
be
high
insane.
school,
Yeah, but
like,
not for nothing, Lynn. You were in an
I
upper
hung out with
echelon
everybody.
of people, though.
Yeah, like I never
as
was
far as
in
the
a clique.
neighborhood goes, though, like you would be
Yeah.
around the right people. You know, like
Yeah.
Nicole and all them. Like that was a crew that was
But
like
wait,
a
I
respected
have a
crew
question,
around
though.
here.
Wait. I have a question. NF, so over there in
Yeah.
Ireland, you know what I'm saying? Like when you're
Yeah,
dealing
yeah.
with bullying and shit like that or kids in school, is it the same as like it sounds like in New York? Like what do you guys argue about over there? Like their fucking haircuts? Like what is it like
Yeah, like
in Ireland?
Ireland
like,
is.
What-
like it could be totally something like just like if there was a guy in, like, man, I haven't been in school in God knows how many years. I'm 28 years old, so memory is kind of bad. But
I'm 10 years old to keep
Yeah,
it going.
exactly.
Keep going,
Dude,
buddy.
come on. I wish I was at 28 again.
Like, if one kid had like a big thing back here would be like, you know, like, I don't know what you call them over there, but we call them khakis. I'm guessing you call them
pants?
trainers. Trainers.
Trailers?
Trainers. They're like
Trainers.
the they're
Those
like
are
Adidas
sneakers.
pants.
Yeah, trainers are
sneakers.
sneakers.
Oh.
Trainers are like Jordans or
Oh,
something
okay,
like
so
that.
sneakers, clothes.
Yeah. See, I know this lingo.
So if someone had like a really like poor looking pair of them, like that were really cheap, that were like out of Walmart.
So it was just
or
jealousy?
something. It wouldn't be. How would it be jealous?
That's jealousy, dude. He's got Jordans, I don't. I don't like you. That's
Right.
jealousy.
No, but not even that. Like towards like back here, it would be like if you had the best clobber, you were good. But
What's
if you
a
had
clobber?
like shitty, if clobber would be like an outfit. Like a
Oh,
cool,
okay, so it's clothes. Everything's
Yeah,
material.
everything. It is.
Yeah,
That's what it boils
it's-
down to.
Back
Who's
here,
got what?
everything eating.
Right.
No,
When we-
but Ireland, correct me if I'm wrong, NF, but Ireland, there's a very like status thing over there where it's like, I'm wearing this label, look at me, I'm wearing this label, you're not wearing this label, so that means I'm better than you.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say there. Label.
Right, got it, yeah.
Ireland's like California.
Really?
No.
No.
No, but I mean like with the like again, like with the labels thing. Like I'm wearing Gucci, you're wearing fucking
Label
what you
whores?
got from Bob's. You know what I mean? Like that type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for instance, just say like even like with the whole like bullying thing, like even if I think back and kind of like you rock, where I never asked to be in like these like groups or anything, but I'd be just in them anyway. I don't know if it's because of my presence or what, you know, I don't know what I do. I'm very funny, I guess, I don't know.
No,
but
it's because your name is Punk.
No, but you know
No,
what
I'm
it is too.
kidding.
Like I don't think that like it's you fall into the group. I think it's your group becomes the group.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's
Like
weird because like back then, like you know, I smoke weed or whatever, but like in reality, like it's like a different side where, like I'm gonna be honest, I'm a fucking gamer. Like that's what I do. I love fucking sitting down,
playing
jumping on a
video
games.
PS4,
yeah.
and like back then, like if you, if like I'm into all like fucking, I'll play Spider-Man, any fucking type of game. But like back then, if you were like, hey, I'm playing Spider-Man, what the fuck you doing, you fucking
Yeah,
child?
You're
You're a
not playing
nerd.
Spider-Man. You don't know what
You're
the
a
fuck
nerd.
you're doing.
But to be honest,
Yeah.
from like I was a gamer from young, you know, 6, 7, whatever, until about 12, 13. And then once girls in high school starts, you go, I ain't got time for this. Like, and fuck this right now. Now that I'm older.
some people.
Yeah.
Some people don't do
But
that.
now that I'm older, I'm totally back into like, I'd much rather sit on the couch and play fucking Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, I think that's
Than
what
do
it is,
anything
like,
else.
Once you settle down, like I have a fucking wife and I have 2 kids. Like once you settle down,
I have
you
a
get there,
fucking wife and 2 kids. I'll come over there and slap the shit out of you if you
And
put
if
fucking
Punk,
in your
your
wife
tone,
sentence
brother,
again.
your tone makes me hurt as a man inside.
My
man.
husband would never speak like that. He'd say, "My queen at home." Was
Not even.
making
I
me
wouldn't speak
dinner."
like that because I wouldn't speak like that because I wouldn't be in a situation where I would be speaking like that. Like I went through something and I go, oh, never again doing that. Find happiness and make happiness and just that's the
don't-
way it should be.
Don't be
Let me
fresh.
tell you something, Rock. The world ain't all about sunshines and rainbows.
Yeah, yo, I sent that to my daughter today.
Sunshines and rainbows come out of my
no,
asshole.
but no, he's
so
talking
that's
about
what it
that
is.
Rocky speech from Rocky Balboa, and I showed
They
it to.
do. It's like a unicorn.
I showed it to Lewis the other day because my son's 9 and he's starting to understand things like more having a grasp on actual like life things. So I showed him that and I'm like, dude, this is a life. Like it's going to fuck you up. Life is going to fucking hit you. It's going to knock you down. It's going to fucking drag you across all over the fucking place and you need to get up. No, but for real, you need to get up and go, all right, that shit happens, but I
Right.
dust myself off and I keep fucking
keep
moving.
going, of
I
course.
keep going. Because the people that get knocked down and go, fuck it, I'm staying down. What's the point? Like, you can't be that person. You need to get back up. Always. No matter what the fuck happens, get back up and keep moving forward.
And stop stressing over the little stuff.
We only get one life and one shot at this, man. So you might as well enjoy it while you can. And yeah, life can be hard, but you just gotta roll with the
Sounds like you're
punches
sitting in
and
the
fucking
bathroom.
get through it. What?
No. She said you sound like you're shitting in
I
the
love you,
bathroom.
but it sounds like
But-
you're sitting in the bathroom.
But and honestly,
I'm not.
like, you know, not to say it again, but when you get to this age, there's only one person responsible for what your life is like,
That's
and that's
right.
you.
Yes.
No one else. So if your life sucks and you every day you wake up and you go, fuck my life sucks, that's your fault.
Get up and do something.
Change something about it
Yeah.
then. Like, I
Everybody
don't know
can
what
do
to
it.
fucking tell you.
Everybody can do it.
But
You could be 80 and do it.
But there's the people that sit there and do that
so quiet,
shit.
Nicole.
I'm just listening.
There's the people that sit there and do that shit and wake up every day and go, my life sucks, and keeps pointing a finger and never change
Well, now
anything.
my show sucks because Nicole's
Yeah.
not talking. You point and look.
And as a person who is like, if it sucks, remove it or change it
No,
or
yes,
do
something.
something.
Sure.
And I'm 1,000,000% that person, and I am quick to do it now.
Listen, I want to get Nick on. So let's NF. We
All
love
right.
you, baby. We're
gonna
drop
let you go,
okay?
brother.
Peace out, guys.
All right.
All right.
Love you. Bye.
Thanks.
So
We love
last
NF
week
Punk.
we spoke of a YouTuber who had killed himself recently that jumped off a
Deek?
bridge.
A Deek, right? A Deek something.
No, his name is not a Deke. It's Akita, something like that. We'll pull it up. But anyway, Anika or something. I don't know. He was a really nice guy. However, he was angry with things that he had done, and he thought that his only way to redeem himself with
Here it
God.
is. Atika. Yeah, Atika. That's the
He
only
was a
name they give
YouTuber,
him.
and so he thought that things he did on YouTube and on social media was so bad that he could not live his life, and he had taken his life.
What did he do on YouTube that was so bad?
I'm not positive, but I think that he had lied and said he was sick and put up a PayPal or something, and
That's fucked up.
I think,
GoFundMe?
yeah, and I think he did things like go out and like punch people in the face or something. I
Like
saw a
just
video
random,
of him
like, run
randomly
up?
fighting with someone in the city. Again, I don't want to quote this because they're his family and friends. I mean, no disrespect at all. I'm just talking about the issue of suicide, and however,
Yeah.
so a week and a half ago or so, he thought that his only end all was to jump off the bridge, and they did find him in the East River. Very sad. And my cousin was talking in the room. He is a fireman, and he deals with that stuff every day. So he said he was going to call in. Actually, when we switched the subject, I hope he's still here to call in. But this poor kid thought that there was no resolution to, what you do in life, and there is always resolution.
There you go.
Let's get it. Hey, Nick.
Yeah.
Hi.
What's up?
It's been forever. I haven't seen you since I'm like fucking 6.
But coming down.
No, he's not
Oh,
in
yeah?
Florida.
Oh, he's not Florida. Okay.
Johnny's
John.
the one. Yes.
Okay.
Where are you, Johnny?
Johnny.
No, this is Nick.
Oh, Nick. It
This
is
is
Nick. I
Nick.
thought it
Yes.
was Johnny.
Nick is the one in Florida, correct?
Sorry. Yes.
It's
Nick.
so funny because you guys are like on a delay on here, so it's like I'm like trying to like be live with you on the video to try and get your voice, but it's not working. So I'm just gonna not look at the screen because it's really fucking me up.
Yeah, don't let it bug you out, Nick. All right, so go. Nick is also a fireman, sorry, in Florida.
Thank you for your service.
They're brothers, the two I'm
Yes.
talking about.
Yeah,
I got
that's what I.
confused.
But yeah.
So yeah, my brothers actually got me into it, and I'm the one in Florida. So and he had his own issue, not so much with suicide, but he was the first fireman on scene when the Colorado shooting happened at the theater with the Batman movie. So he had his own experiences
That's right,
there,
it's in
but
Colorado.
Wait, hold on. Your brother was involved in that shooting?
he
Not
was actually
involved
the
like he
first
was an
unit
assailant,
in-
but
No, he was probably 100 feet away from the guy when he was right?
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that was like a mass casualty incident. I mean, in the instant I saw you guys were putting suicide on there, and I'm just like, wow. I'm at work right now, and we just ran a couple today. I mean, and I've ran hundreds of them, and it's just you start to see these underlying themes with things. You start to see that seems like the older people are, like when I'm going to somebody's house and it says that they're trying to commit suicide. If I see that they're an older person, usually 9 times out of 10 when I go inside that house, there's going to be a dead person in that house. When I go to a younger person's house, there's somebody crying for help or looking for attention. I mean,
Yeah, I could totally see that, honestly, because when you're at a certain age and in your 50s and 60s, you're like, fuck it, dude. Like, I'm going to die in 20 years, maybe at best at this point. Fuck it. Why keep going on? I'm miserable.
Nick, let me ask you something really quick. So down in Florida, I know that you deal with a lot of things, and I'm like so blown away that you're a part of my show right now. I fucking love you.
yeah,
But
love you too.
I appreciate it. But, being in the industry that you're in, when you deal with kids, not just with suicide or looking for help or drugs for that matter, like you as a man, you have 2 children. How do you feel about the society they're growing up in down there?
I feel that's a very deep question. So I mean, I want to give you a deep answer, but a short answer. I just think that when it comes to the end of justifying the means with kids and like what my kids will face, and you got a little girl that's the same age as my boys, and it's just what I see is a society or a generation of kids that are growing up where things are more in their face than when we grew up. They're more desensitized to things much more quickly.
Yeah.
And I don't want to blame like just video games. I just think it's the social, like if it's a girl, like social media,
But here's
they're
the
trying,
twist,
guys
dude.
trying to get pictures from them all the time, and it's just like there's this humongous self-conscious on the girls' end, and then on the boys' end, it's just like, like Rocky was saying, they're talking shit behind a text wall, and they have no consequence on that,
Yeah.
And people start to get so desensitized where they start to lose that human touch. And then when it backfires on them, and they're not getting that instant gratification, because that's the other part of it too,
But
they're
you know
not
what it
getting
is
that
too?
instant gratification.
It's that parent thing of, fuck, now I have kids. Like, you don't think of it when
Yeah.
you're the kid. When you're the kid, you're like,
No.
hey, I'm the kid. But now that it's yours, you created this life, and now they're going through shit.
Yeah.
And you just, as a parent, you go, I wish I can just immediately take you out of the situation, take all the bad from it, and
Right.
take it myself.
Take it myself.
But you can't. And
Yeah.
now you're going, fuck, I am so responsible for how this person ends up in life. Like, it is all on me right now. It really is. Like, they are need to be molded into what they need to be to survive in life. And that is scary
Yep.
as a parent.
But Nick, wait, really quick. So, obviously we grew up together. Nick, you're a little bit older than me, but we were close and shit. Your parents and my parents, we didn't have parents that were like, aw, what's the matter? They were like, what the fuck are you doing? Get up, fucking change, do this, do that. We didn't have...
Yeah.
Like, not that our parents weren't there for us and didn't give us kisses, but they also told us to shut the fuck up and get up.
Yeah, get up and fucking wipe yourself
Yeah.
off and go do something.
Like, I don't want to fucking hear
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
bored? I'll give you something to do. We'll clean the
No,
fucking
but
bathroom.
also all of our parents are self-made. Like, our parents were all hardworking people.
Yes.
So they weren't people that were handed anything. So when they look at us and go, "Oh, poor me," they go, "Poor you. You have no idea how fucking
idea.
easy you have it, motherfucker. Get up and do whatever the fuck I'm saying and shut the fuck up, because in about 5 years you're gonna see poor me."
Right.
All right. Like,
This generation is just different.
but this generation, and
Honestly,
and I blame it. I'm guilty of it too. I coddle my kids. I give them everything they want, because as a kid, I wanted everything. I wanted to have good things. I wanted to have fun, and I coddle my kids. But I also am very stern with them, and I am not.
Well, Nikki's kids are young still.
Yeah, but I am not any type of jaded person, especially with Lewis. Now he's 9. Like, I'm like, dude, this is how fucking shit goes.
Right.
Like, you need to understand. They're like, yeah, you're having fun
No
now.
one's gonna hold your hand through life.
But I'm like, dude, you got 8 years. You're fucking 18. Like, you're halfway there. More than halfway.
Right.
Life is coming. Like, and as a man, you need to understand. Like, it's mostly your job to mold the girls, because you are a girl.
Right.
You know what I mean? Of course, I have to have an influence. But when it comes to Lewis, I'm like, wake the fuck up. Like, not that I have to say that to him. He's pretty good as a kid, and responsibility and shit like that.
He's got another 4 or 5 years before he deals with this.
But I don't think, like, I'm going to have to worry about him in the future. I might have problems with him when he's a teenager. Everyone does. But in the future, I think he's level-headed enough to understand the way things work.
Every changes,
Yeah, they do. But I'm not this fucking guy of like, oh, everything's going to be okay. I'm like, no, you need to understand shit is going to get harder than it is
real.
now. It's not going to get easier. Shit gets harder. Enjoy this
Jess is
now.
right, though,
This is
yeah.
your free
Jess
ride.
is-
Go ahead, Nick. I'm sorry.
That's all right. No, Jess is right, though, with our parents and stuff. I mean, if I ever told my parents I was going to kill myself, they probably would have killed me.
Yeah.
My dad would be
Right
like,
there.
why didn't you do
You
it?
know what I
Stop
mean?
talking about it.
Shut
Go
up,
upstairs.
pussy. Yeah, go do it.
But I mean, you're exactly right. I mean, what's going on is just it's a different day and age. As a parent, through bringing kids into this stage, it's number one, they want the instant gratification. Number two, boys, girls, it doesn't matter. We live like this very high definition society where everybody has to look good. Everything's hypersexualized now. And you want to know what? I mean, we're actually behind the 8 ball with that, because down in like places like South America and stuff, that's the norm down
Right.
there. But here, it's getting, and what happens like that, when people don't feel like they're like, quote unquote, keeping up with the Joneses, the insecurity kicks in, the loneliness kicks in, and that's, when I run the call and I start picking up the pieces. I mean, I'll tell you, I mean, just statistically speaking, I mean, I do run more males than I do females that are what I call completed suicide.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Most girls, they'll cut their arms and then they'll cry and then they'll wait. And then I've had like women that are like 40, 50. I thought I was walking into Stephen King's Carrie. Like, she's just sitting there in the chair, slit wrist, freaking 2-inch gash in her chest. She's like, I tried to kill myself. I'm like, yeah, you could do a good job.
You didn't do a good job.
No, but
oh
you know
my
what it is
God.
too. And I know, Nick, you can't say this, but I'll say it for you. You go, no, you didn't. You wanted to just do that and send a message to the people
No, Nick will say it.
that are important to your life, and go, look at what I did.
Yeah.
I didn't try to kill myself, but I mutilated myself enough to make you think I was gonna.
That's not true.
Give me attention.
As someone who has cut themselves, you do it because you can't get the hurt out.
No, not cutting. We're talking about people
like
the suicide
self-mutilations
thing. No,
and like
not that. Like,
even like cutting.
I
Like
understand.
I feel like even people who do like cut their arms.
Yeah.
A lot of times, what happens is they cut them
To feel.
they say, "Oh shit, I went too far."
Yeah.
And then that regret comes in,
Yeah.
and they pray that like this person is gonna come and save them from the turmoil that they just did. You know, like,
and that's more of a woman thing. And I think like to make it like kind of an easier example to understand, women when they commit suicide are the type of people to take a bottle of pills, and the second they swallow the last pill, pick up the phone and go, "I just swallowed a bunch of pills," and then hang up.
That's exactly.
Why do you generalize all women?
No,
like
no.
that?
But I'm saying,
because
ask Nick.
men,
do it.
suicidal men,
do it.
There's no thought. There's boom.
Yeah.
There's not a week of let me think about this or it's
No, I
just
understand.
it's too
I
hard.
just don't want
It's
to
too
generalize
quick. It's
all
boom.
women think like that.
No.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
not saying
how they
all women, but
think,
I'm saying in most cases, and Nick, as a professional in this field, am I right or wrong? Most women will do something and then immediately, like Ron Burgundy, I immediately regret this decision. And men do something so.
I'll answer that for you very easy. I've never found a hanging girl. I've never found a girl with a gunshot wound to her head. I found mostly girls who either took a bunch of pills, they've cut themselves, or they've like sat inside their car in their garage. But then they, like you said, then once again, it all goes back to age too. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if they're male or female. I think once you get older and stuff like that, because I've ran women that you go into their house and it's an empty house. There's nobody living in the house anymore. And all they got left is like the picture of their husband who's already gone. And you don't even need to find them. I mean, once you do enough of them, you can walk inside the house and like once you turn the corner of the room, you're gonna find a dead person. Just because you look and you start to you get a feel for the environment just by doing them so many times. But when it comes to the males, 100%.
Dude, what was the
house?
What was the first time like turning that corner?
It wasn't turning a corner. It was opening a garage door. And it was just somebody hanging in there, dude. And I gotta tell you, those are the weirdest ones to look at. Those, and I'd probably say the people that they're inside their car for a long time, and in the garage, because then they start to melt in the garage. It's weird. But I had crazy guys too, man. I've had guys that have fired their car into a canal, and they're drowning in a canal. Now we're gonna jump in the canal, and he's fighting us. He's fighting us to drown, and we're trying to rip him out of his car, and he's not cooperating with it. I mean, that's pretty scary.
Now,
in Florida, you got alligators and.
When you go home, though, this shit sticks with you, obviously. But now your sons are in front of you, and you need to be dad. Yeah. How do you separate that awful, horrendous sight, and then go home? And I'm sure that seeing your boys kind of takes it away. But in the back of your head, that is not something most human beings will see in life and don't have to carry with them.
I'm fortunate compared to most guys just because I work kind of far away from where I live far away from where I work. So I have a 2-hour drive to and from work every third day. So that 2-hour drive home is a huge decompression period for me. But at the same time, I mean, dude, I gotta tell you, man, it doesn't really go away. I mean, the whole PTSD thing now it's not being just reserved for the military now. It's getting into fire and police now.
Well, it's not even that it's getting. It's people don't understand that firemen and policemen go through horrendous situations all the time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All the time. Mm-hmm. And people just think, well, hey, they signed up for it. Yeah, they did. Yeah. But you go see a dead baby and tell me how you feel after that.
Right.
Yeah, when I wound up being
many of them.
My cousin is an EMT paramedic, and I asked him, I said, do you think I could do it? And he said, honestly, the heart that you have, you couldn't do it because you couldn't handle walking in on the 2-year-old that drowned.
Yeah.
You couldn't handle
be able to.
those things. There's other things I'm completely callous to. Blood, guts, abscesses, I don't care about any of that.
Right.
But to see an
death
innocent
is so
child,
real. Death is, and death is
even
just
if
so
they're
real.
hurt, I won't work on a child because
Don't pull the sticker off.
I don't like to hurt them.
That's why
I'm the fun person.
Don't pull the sticker off.
My
Don't pull the
cousin's
stickers
a
off.
nurse, and she's in the pediatric oncology in Stony Brook. I'm like, I don't know how you do it because
It's almost like you just become
couldn't do it.
routine
But
to
think
it.
about even going to a wake, an open casket wake, and you're like, oh, like in the back of your head, you're like, I really don't want to go up there. You have to because you love that person, you want to show respect. But in the back of your head, as a human, you go, this is not natural. I don't want to see this. This reminds me that this is going to be me one day.
That's what makes you appreciate life more.
I mean, when it comes to children, you know what I mean. And like I said, that's my Achilles heel too, and more so now that I have my own. But
yeah.
I think just in the sense of when it comes to children, it's not it. Number one, you know, when you get to a drowning, let's say, you know, you get to a drowning and you do your job 100% right, and then it doesn't work out. They still, it's not so much that. The real hard part is telling the parents. Like, you got to be the guy that goes outside where their parents are outside and they're just looking at you, and you got to tell their parents. When you do that a couple of times, dude, I don't. When it's adults, you know, you get callous. When it's kids, if you don't choke up, I mean, every single time, you got something wrong with you, man. I just with kids, it's terrible. But when it comes to adults, I mean, just the desensitization over the period of time, you just see death, and you're just walking around it all the time. I kind of looked at a buddy of mine one time, and just like, this has to be what like a murderer or a serial killer feels like, dude. Just like this complete numb to just walking amongst us. You know what I mean?
Are you ever the guy that has to deliver the bad news?
Oh my! What? Oh, to the parents?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh
absolutely.
my God! How the fuck? I couldn't do that. Like, that is just.
Bro.
I know.
I mean, I work in a pulmonary office, so I deal with cancer patients all the time, and you know, like, we're not the ones, because usually they're at like a cancer treatment center and they tell them or their doctor, but we follow up, and like, I watch how they go from fear, like you see the fear of like, oh my God, this is real.
Well, there's
like,
the 7 stages, they say, of death: acceptance, fear, I don't know,
fear,
the other
anger.
5.
You disbelieve it. You try to like not believe it, and then you finally at the end become acceptance.
Acceptance and all that other stuff. But like I think every now and then, and tell me if anyone else has these moments, the thought of death pops in your head, and you go, fuck, no.
Yes,
no,
don't think about it. Don't think about it. It'll bring it to me.
No, and like that, like, not an adrenaline rush, but this feeling of that's really going to happen someday. And I don't want it to happen ever. I love my kids. I want to see my kids grow up to be fucking 150 years old. I want to see their grandkids. I want to see my grandkids.
Yeah.
I want to see all of this. Please, someone figure something out where I can stay forever.
Yes.
And every now and then that thought of, yeah, nice fantasy, asshole, not going to happen. You're going to die too.
Yeah.
Comes in your head and you go, fuck.
Yes.
And
I used to have panic attacks about death. Like,
it's not
for
a panic
year, it took
attack,
me.
but I have like that moment of panic of like, I don't want that ever to happen. Please, no.
But somebody told me once, who says you're not going to die in 2 minutes?
Right.
Exactly.
What are you going to do in the next 2 minutes?
And,
you know,
and that's
so
the
you got to
fucked up
hold
thing.
on to the blip that we have.
So, but Nick, you know, from our family
I
experiences.
think that's a normal thing to feel that at your age. But at the same time, you know, sometimes I look at people that are like a lot more older, in their 60s and stuff like that, and you know, they got cancer and stuff, and you know, you walk in that house and you kind of smile, like you see that they put an end to their life, but they did it on their own terms. You know what I mean?
Right, but you didn't want to live sick. I guess if I was told I was going to be
check
sick
this out.
and die, I don't know what I would do.
As a guy in America, right? Nick, how old are you? You're in your 40s, right? Early 40s, though?
Listen, you watch yourself there about my
No, but you're still in your early 40s.
I'm going to say 40.
Nah, I am 40.
Okay.
40
Now, I'm about to be 37, and the other day, I thought of this. It might have even been last night. I don't remember exactly when, but it was very recent where I go, I'm going to be 37. In 30 years, I'm going to be 67. Yeah. 67 is old as a motherfucker, and 67 is very close to the end. And the 30 years, if you think about prior to this, was not that fucking long.
No, it wasn't.
Like, now looking back on it, it's like I was 6 years old not that long ago.
Right.
And now 30 years thinking of it forwards where it's coming to the end, you're like, that's where the panic sets in, where it's like, will I even make it to 67? Hopefully I do. I hope I make it to like 90, to be honest with you. Right. 90 would be a good number for me. If I made it to 90, I'd be like, all right, I had a good run.
Right, I did good.
And the time goes by a lot quicker when you're older, too, because you got so much more responsibilities.
Because you're watching your kids grow.
Yeah. You're not... though. That might be me here. Hold on a second, guys.
But it's something that as a kid you're invincible. At 16, to bring it back
You
to
don't
this
think
whole
everybody-
thing.
Everybody thinks they're
There's no
invincible at that age.
consequences to nothing. Everything's gonna be just fucking fine.
I'm riding my
I'm
bike
gonna
off
be
that building. I'll be fine.
And like I really wish like younger people would listen to this and really take this in and understand that it goes by like fucking that.
Oh, yeah.
and,
Definitely.
and I remember being that fucking kid going, I'm fucking 18, dude.
I don't
I'll
care.
do whatever the fuck I want.
Right
what are you
now,
kidding me?
I'm 38,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
30 years went
When I
by
was
real fast.
37, 3 kids, own a home, stress as a motherfucker with bills and all the other shit. And my kids not getting bullied, not trying to commit suicide, making
Not-
sure, if they get picked on, they understand that this shit don't matter. All this other shit now
Matters.
That and
didn't
back
matter.
then, you have to enjoy
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
then.
And now I'm the older
Yeah.
one telling my kids,
Yeah.
the same
Yeah.
thing my parents told me.
Yeah.
Don't
And
rush it.
Yep.
Don't rush
And
it.
you
Don't
look
rush
and
it.
you go, wow.
Trust me,
And
it's
I
gonna
know in
fly
their
by.
head, they're going, you don't know what
you,
the
you
fuck
don't know
you're
what you're
talking about.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
like, even
you were
me as
saying
a
the
kid.
same shit.
Like growing up, like my best friend, I thought she would be my best friend for the rest of
Forever.
my
Yep.
life.
Yep.
And really, reality, we went our two separate paths.
Yeah.
I've stayed grounded, and I try to do the next best thing for the next person, and I try not to, worry about what other people are thinking, because
Right.
in reality, I go home and I'm with my husband and I'm with my kids, and shout out Michael, I love you.
I had
and like
lifelong.
it just
Shout out to all the
just
husbands.
I live in this bubble now. Like I live in my own little bubble.
I create my world.
and
that's it.
I
that's what we do.
choose who I
create
want
my
in and
world.
We all
out.
have bubbles.
Now, I had lifelong friends, several of them. I have one remaining that is a lifelong friend. My two main best friends are people I met within the past 10, 15 years that had no high school bullshit, no grade school shit, none of that. It was people I met when I was in my...
your best friend.
Oh my God! Wait,
But
listen.
it was people I
Nick,
met
baby, I'm
in
gonna
my
let you go
20s and
'cause
mid-20s.
We're gonna get off in a second, okay?
Yeah,
I'm so
absolutely.
glad
It's a
you
pleasure
called.
Talking with you guys.
You're the fucking man.
absolutely.
But thank you for your
I'll see you guys
service.
when you come down into the Florida heat.
We're coming down in
You can be
August. I'll
prepared for
text
that
you.
shit.
Yeah, we're going to be there in
Got it.
not even a month.
Yeah, August will be out there. I'll call
Yeah.
you.
It's too hot.
Yeah, bring some sunscreen, you pasty bastards.
No, I'm not pasty, motherfucker. Shut your mouth.
Me, dude, I'm Italian. I sit out one day, everyone in the house is like, fuck you.
Or whatever. We love you. Bye.
Later, Nick.
Later,
So,
bye.
listen, so I really am enjoying like so much diversity we had tonight. This was an amazing show
was a
for me.
great show.
However, I am done.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I want to shout out a few things really quick and make it sweet. Don't forget to check Opie Radio, call Ruiz in fucking La Cubana in the city, and Joey Salvia's got music to die for. I have my Sweet Temptations by Nikki for any of your baking needs in New York. I got strengthandsparkle.com for Unique, and she's got the most amazing makeup. And shout out to, of course, Lynn for coming tonight and being
no
fucking
problem.
real as shit. And my
You
husband.
know what? Like,
for
huge
taking
credit
along.
for that. Like,
I do.
honestly,
yes.
the majority of people
Will never
would
see-
never come out and do this and open themselves up and talk about the situation and cry. Like, most people would never fucking do that. I
is
wouldn't,
life.
honestly.
But you want to know what? I've grown to the point where it's okay to cry.
Yeah.
Like growing up, like you said, I fell off my bike. I wasn't allowed to cry. Get back on your
Yeah,
bike.
Get
Keep
up.
going.
Yeah.
But I've learned that even you, it's okay to cry.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you as a male, you're brought up, no, it's not okay.
No, but as
Go
we
hide
get
in
older,
a bathroom
and
somewhere.
I'm not even
I'll
gonna
give you
lie,
something
as
to cry
men
about.
get older, and I guarantee most men can attest to this. Like, I'll be watching some stupid fucking movie or TV show. Like,
Commercial.
remember when Stephanie McMahon was on fucking the Hidden Boss show?
Oh, yeah.
And she helped these people out, and I'm sitting there, and like all of a sudden I'm welling up. I'm like, oh my god, she's so nice. And, I
Yeah.
can't believe- and I'm like, what are you doing, you pussy? Shut up.
Yeah.
But
No,
as
but
I get
still.
older as a man, I'm like, things affect you because
Bro.
now you have enough experience to understand these people's struggle.
Right.
Yeah.
And we
So-
reflect back to everybody has their own situation.
Yeah.
Accept everybody for who they are. Right.
And
we love
every single
everybody.
person here did not have it easy.
No.
Including myself, we all dealt with horrendous, horrible shit
Mm-hmm.
at an early age, and it continued on pretty much.
For a while.
Yeah. Like,
Until we forgave ourselves.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then it got better. We forgive ourselves. And
And-
I hope everybody does that with themselves too. We are clipping this because you're going to keep going.
Do it.
We had a great time, guys. We love you all. Go check us out. Super
Thanks,
Ugly
guys.
Show on it's the Super Ugly Show. This is live
love you
on
guys.
Facebook.
Yes.
JRABBIT55 on Twitter. You can find Rocky Sus on Instagram. Super Ugly Show on Twitter, of course. And if you want to find Lynn and Nicole, they're off our page as well. So we had a great time, and we hope we fucking see you next Tuesday. Bye.